Good morning, Rhino Cats. It's Miss Mary Louise, and welcome back to Measurement Monday, that time of the week where we talk about finding the size or the amount of something. And last week we talked about customary units or a customary system of measurement. And when we're talking about a customary system, we're talking about the system we use here in the United States. When we talk about the metric system, that is going to be a system of measurement used outside of the United States. So customary system of measurement, just something we use here to find the size or amount of something in the United States. And one unit we talked about that belongs to this system last week is inches. We talked about how inches is a very small unit we use to measure length or how long something is. And we talked about how an inch is about the size of a paper clip or about the size of your top knuckle on your finger to your middle knuckle. So that's about the size of an inch, so a small unit of measurement. And we practiced measuring items with inches using a ruler, which let me show it to you properly. I have right here. So I went and snagged a ruler from Office Depot, and this shows us that we have inches on this top side right here. Remember, our inches, there's 12 of them on a ruler. You can see that it goes up to 12 over here, starting at 0. So these show our inches. And then on the other side, I just want to touch on it. We're not going to go into it, but these are centimeters and millimeters. So this is going to be the side of our ruler that represents that metric side of measurement, one that we use typically outside the United States. So focusing on this side today, still focusing on inches, those customary units. So an inch is about 1/12 of a ruler, right? Very small, the size of a paper clip or small part of your finger. We can use inches to measure things like small things, like a fork or a pencil or a small book, an envelope. Moving on to feet. We talked about how 12 inches make up 1 foot or 1 ruler. So a foot is going to be 12 inches or the length of 1 ruler. A foot is about the size of a big foot or about the length of a large sheet of paper. And we can use feet to measure things like height. Just like we did before break, we measured our class heights using feet and inches. We can also measure things like a door or a window, so slightly bigger things than we would use to measure inches. We're getting increasingly bigger or longer with our units of measurement as we move along here. So moving on to yards. I don't have a yardstick with me, but a yardstick is just 3 times the amount of a ruler. It's 3 rulers put together, meaning it's 3 feet, or it's 36 inches, right? The same length there. And a yard is about the size or about the length from the bottom of a door up to the door handle, okay? And we can use yards to measure things like football fields. A football field is 100 yards. Pretty big. We can use a yardstick to measure things like a car or my teacher desk that's very long or a classroom. Moving on to miles. Miles is our biggest unit of measurement here with our customary system of measurement. Miles is about 1,760 yards. And you can travel a mile in about a minute in your car. We can use miles to measure the distance people run or travel by car or by boat or by plane. So really long distances. So going back to inches, we're measuring something really small. Going to feet, we're measuring something a little bit bigger. Yards, about 3 feet, so a little shorter than how tall I am, and then miles, right? Really long. So today we're going to practice choosing the appropriate customary unit of length. So choosing inches, feet, yards, miles, depending on what we want to measure. So we'll do a few example problems together before I let you guys click on your link. Remember that link to IXL for your assignments is going to be in the description box right underneath this YouTube video. So find your initials and click on the link next to it, and that will take you to your Measurement Monday assignment. So some of the things we may come across today, our first question here, which is a better estimate for the length of a mouse's tail? So remember that mice are pretty small, right? Their tails aren't going to be that long. And our options are 3 inches or 3 feet. So remember, inches are about the size of a paper clip. So when I'm thinking of 3 inches, I'm thinking about the size of 3 paper clips long. When I'm thinking about 3 feet, I am thinking about 3 rulers long. So 3 of these rulers put together. I hope that a mouse's tail is not 3 rulers long. That is terrifying. So a mouse's tail is probably going to be more like 3 inches long, right? About the size of 3 paper clips. So that's what you would choose there. Moving on to another problem like number 2 that you may come across in your work today, which is a better estimate? Estimate is just a fancy word for a guess. So what's a good guess for the length of a rake? And a rake is kind of like a shovel. It's a gardening tool, something that you would use to make a big pile of leaves. So when I'm thinking about the length of a rake, our options are 5 inches. Remember, inches we're going to find on our ruler here. And if I start, from our 0 and move up to 5, that's a pretty short distance, right? It's less than half of my ruler. I don't think a rake is going to be that small. It's not going to be very effective. I'm not going to be able to pick up much things outside with a little 5-inch rake. 5 feet, that's about how tall I am. I'm about 5 feet 4 inches. So that sounds about an appropriate size of a rake, right? A rake's going to be about as tall as you are, maybe a little taller. So yeah, I would click 5 feet on that one. Moving to number 3, which is a better estimate for the length of a garden hose. So the length of a hose that you're going to use outside to water plants. So our options are 49 feet and 49 yards. I know that 49 feet, remember I just said I was about 5 feet. So this is about 50 feet, 49, 50 feet. That would be about 10 times longer than my height. So that sounds about right for a garden hose because you're going to need to reach around in a yard, right, to be able to water things. So you want a pretty long hose outside. 49 yards, though, is going to be way too long because if you remember, 100 yards is the length of a football field. So 49 yards is about half of a football field. That's going to be way too long for a garden hose that you're going to keep in your backyard. So 49 feet would be our answer there. All right, Rhino Cats, best of luck attempting your Measurement Monday assignments on customary systems of measurement, meaning just systems of measurement we use here in the United States, whether it's inches, those very small unit of measurement to measure small things, or feet, size of our ruler, yard, size of 3 rulers together, and then a mile, which is going to be 1,760 yards, so a very long distance. All right, good luck, you guys, and I will be in touch later today or this week.